Hello, thank you for joining me here today. And if it's the first time you've seen me live or any one of my videos and you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button. Now, it's been over 24 hours since we've heard the verdict on the Dereck Chauvin trial, of which he was found guilty on all three counts. Now, what we see is finally uh, justice being done in the death of a black man uh, in police custody, whether uh, in the station or on the streets. Now, in America, if you're stopped by the police and you're black, things can go wrong very, very quickly, as in you dying. Uh, as a black man who's a British veteran who's lived in the US, who has family in the US, um, it was very distressing. And I know what it feels like. In fact, I personally, being that I was a 12-year veteran, what I used to do, I used to travel a lot in the United States when I lived there. Um, I lived in Maryland, just outside Washington D.C., and I've lived in Atlanta and Orlando, Florida, where my mother currently is retired, and I have two siblings there. Yeah, so when I lived in Atlanta, I used to drive both to DC and to Orlando, and also used to travel a lot to New Orleans, for Mardi Gras and various times for the coffee. But, you know, I always plan my journey at night. I always traveled, if I can help it, at night. You know, for two reasons, but mainly because of the police. Less police on the road, and they couldn't tell, as long as I kept the speed limit, they couldn't tell whether I was black, white, or pink, or green. So therefore, as long as I obeyed the laws, then it would be unlikely I would be stopped. So, and fortunately, I was only stopped one time, of which I was speeding, and it was in North Carolina, and the policeman was very professional. He actually, asked me to get out of the car, come with him to his police car. He showed me, he didn't catch me on the radar, but he timed me. So he said, you know, that I was going, at a certain speed over the speed limit, and he gave me a fine and said that you better pay it or not, do not drive through North Carolina again. So I did. But there's other times that I've been stopped within Atlanta, around Atlanta areas during the day, uh, during work and so forth. I'm driving a sports car that I was stopped while being black. And as all blacks in America knows that it's not, your heart isn't racing at the time, wondering if this is your last, But being that As I said, I'm a veteran. I stay calm and I relax. Now, if you can watch this video to the end, please leave a comment, and what I will do is I will give some tips on how, if you are ever in a chokehold, if you're on the receiving end of a chokehold, what to do, which a little tip in how to save your life. Now, if that is okay, please leave a comment in the comment section if you'd like to hear about that. And the more people that would like to hear, then I will endeavor to make another video on it. Now, I'm not going to go much about the trial itself. I never watched it because on any part of it, because I did not want to see the face of a murderer. It was too much in the news anyway, just his face and so forth. So I did not want to watch that. This wasn't just a man who killed someone by mistake. This was a man who killed someone who's pleading for his life. And as far as I'm concerned, I did not want to, see his face and so forth. And the less I saw his face, the better I felt. Now, if there's anybody out there that, as I said, would like to know on how to, save your life, please leave a comment and I will come back to it in another video. I said, I used to travel, traveling backwards and forwards. I travel at night. Those who are traveling on the interstate highway, if you travel at night in America, if you obey the laws, okay, if you obey the traffic laws, right, and before you travel, you always check your brake lights, your front lights, make sure that all your lights are working, no, I know sometimes we forget, okay, you want to travel, you have places to go and so forth, but these are things that I used to do on a regular daily basis that stop me interacting with police. Check your brake lights. Check that all your lights at the back are not broken, and so forth. So, and make sure that you have enough fuel to travel from gas station to gas station, so you're not breaking down. But as I said, for the most part, travel at night, okay, because they cannot tell, right, unless they shine the light within the car, but for the most part, they cannot tell whether the person who's driving is black or white. Well, they didn't used to when I was there, but mind you, I left the United States over, well, I haven't driven in the United States for nearly 20 years now, so, although I've been backwards and forwards. As I said, that's my tip in staying alive. Uh, Going on to George Floyd, is death by the hands of a uh, officer of, yeah, by police officers. Death at the knee of a police officer seen worldwide and has changed the world. It has changed, as his daughter said. I said that he changed the world. For the most part now, we have in sports, in football or soccer, within over here in in Europe, in uh, players taking the knee in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. Okay, Black Lives Matter has taken hold in Formula One uh, through Sir Lewis Hamilton, who's pushed away, and I must give a shout out to Mercedes, because Mercedes has changed their silver livery to black, all black last season, and with black and green this season. So they still incorporate mainly black, as in solidarity with Black Lives Matter and in justice for black people around the world. And I must give a shout out to them. They've I've lived in Germany, and I've been stopped by the police in Germany, although they carry guns. I've never felt that my life was about to end like being stopped by police in the United States. Now, I've traveled through France. As a matter of fact, I've traveled Holland, France, Belgium, and as I've been, the only place I got stopped was in Germany for speeding one time. When I first got to Germany, I didn't realize that the Germans police wore green uniform, and came to a stoplight, and there's an unmarked police car. Didn't say police. I looked over, and they were green uniform. I thought they were German army. So I took off. Uh, and the speed limit was 25 miles an hour, and I was doing 30, 32, and I got nabbed. Yeah. But I never felt that I was going to die. So, but yeah, not like in the United States. Uh, well, we can now. I'm going to do more videos on related topics, my point of view, and what's happening in the news. Now, if you'd like to hear more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon will tell you when I'm gonna put out my next video. And for my subscribers and friends out there, thank you for joining me here today. I just got one more thing left to say. which you may agree or may not agree with, but there are other people out there, yeah, who somehow do not look at George Floyd, Foreman, George Floyd as a human being. Yeah, for some reason they've brought up his criminal record, of which, yeah, he was found guilty of aggravated assault, I think it is, with a, you know, weapon. He went to prison, served time, but they embellish what happened. Now, truth of the matter is that George Floyd, well, or whoever, was convicted of breaking and entering. He and other men were convicted of breaking and entering into a house, and one of the women identified George Floyd as the man who, when they entered the house, put a gun to her stomach. Now, it has been widely published on social media that she was pregnant. No, she was not pregnant. Okay, she never pregnant, not then, or as I know at that time. Now, and because of that, they're using that as an excuse why his death doesn't matter. He was a human being, right? The police officers are not supposed to be judge, jury, and executioners, right? He did not know his background when he pressed the knee on George Floyd's neck, begging, and whilst the man was begging to breathe. Yeah, if you're okay with that, then yeah, some people, yeah, if that is what you think should happen, then I'm sorry, you're not human. As in, yeah. If you look on another human being that is begging for life, and just because the color of his skin or the shape of his nose or whatever, if that is how you think that was right for the police officer to do that, or you give the police officer excuse, then fine, okay. But times are changing. A lot of those who think that way are quite old. They come from my generation or older. Although some of them they have passed on their hate and racist rhetoric to the young. Okay, we're not born racist. We're taught to be racist. Yeah, children do not see skin color. It's only as they grow up that it is then pointed out to them, and then they see it. They start noticing it. But when they're young, when they're born, they do not see skin color. They just see a friend or someone who makes them feel happy, someone who makes them feel sad. Racism is taught, and unfortunately, it's a disease that is still being taught. Maybe not openly, but it is still being taught. Even in Europe, or where, racism is not as great as in the United States, but it still exists. Anyway. thank you for joining me here today. And I said, if you wish to hear my tip on how to survive a police encounter when you're in a chokehold, okay, please hit the comment below, and I will endeavor to, put out a video on how to survive this. The reason why I'm saying this is because I used to be one of my jobs in the army was I was an unarmed combat instructor. And in that way, we used to teach soldiers how to survive when attacked from behind with various things, either in a chokehold or whatever. Yeah, but I do have experience in being choked. Yeah, I have been choked once by the Metropolitan Police for defending a woman who was who a man had indecently uh, what's the word? Let's say he flashed his genitals at the woman on a public highway, and I was not too pleased. And I just left the army, and I began to show him the error of his ways, and basically the police came and put me in a chokehold. I shan't, and I managed to survive it, although my throat was swollen for several days later. Anyway, justice at last for George Floyd justice is seen at last, and the world has taken a sigh of relief. So, again, thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll put out another video very soon on how to survive a police chokehold. It's not guaranteed, because you have to act very quickly, and I shan't go on any more about that because I'm going to try and save that for the next video. Okay, thank you for joining me, and give me a thumbs up for if you agree on the survivability and the justice for George Floyd. Okay, so I want everybody out there, who's watching this video, please give me a thumbs up for George Floyd. Okay, let's be in solidarity with the verdict. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video.